Comic fam, make sure to stay to the end of the video. We're going to be giving away a big Batman key on this show. Let's get into it. Happy Friday. Happy Viernes. How you feeling, Russ?
I am good. It is good to be back after a couple weeks off. Good to have you back in the state and looking healthy, Tom.
I don't know how I did it, but I was able to avoid the cold.
So good.
All right. We're healthy. We're doing well right now. And we're here on Friday to cover the top 10 hottest comic books of the week. It was a scorcher. We also have a Spider-Woman #1 variant that's coming out here in a couple weeks, only available in the mystery mail call. Link is in the description to sign up. And I want to chat about some numbers, Russ.
Oh, absolutely. This Spider-Woman variant by Olivier Coipel is awesome. When Tom showed it to me and I'm like, oh my God, Jessica Drew looks so good on this book. Why did we pick this one, Tom?
Well, aside from her being stunning on the cover,
Right.
just fantastic artwork, well, we're doing something a little different, all right? January, we picked Thor. Donny Cates. We had to do it.
Totally.
I'm not going to pass up a Sir Cates variant. And then February, Wolverine. Brand new title. Super big book. March, I wanted to kind of go a different direction. I'm thinking lower print.
Sure.
Why am I thinking lower print?
Thor, we knew was going to be big. The Donny Cates rumble was there. A ton of people ordered it. I had 40 box customers buy copies of Thor #1 at my shop. Wolverine, same thing. His first solo series in almost 5 years. Not Old Man Logan, not Wolverine trying to die. No, actual Wolverine. Well, that one, I had almost 70 people ordering. You know how many people I had ordering this new Spider-Woman?
How many?
6, Tom.
6 at our LCS. I'm thinking that this book, aside from being an awesome title, it's going to be a banger, great variant, I think it's going to be under-ordered. So I'm trying to see if we can hook up the fam with some scarce variants that the community at large is going to go hunting for. Thor hit a height of over 50 and kind of evened out around 35 to 40 on the aftermarket.
Right.
Wolverine hit a height of 60 to 70.
Yep.
Where is that hitting right now?
Yesterday on auction, we had a sale at $37 and $41. So these are people who bought the mystery mail call, selling it on eBay. This is hot. This is a market. And the only way you can get these variants is by subscribing to the mystery mail call.
Link in the description. Join the community. Slap that like button and hit that subscribe button. We make a lot of comic book themed content. And let's jump into this list at number 10 with the C2E2 exclusive. And I think we have a new name for it, courtesy of the guru. He said it, and I want it to stick. We have the Wolverine Banana variant.
There's always money in the banana stand, Tom.
Yes, that's
absolutely.
true.
I love the banana variant. This is great. When I first saw you guys on Instagram holding this variant, it was like, oh my God, this is great. I almost want to fall into the yellow of this variant. John Tyler Christopher has been doing a fantastic job with these negative space variants. We had a really killer one. Godly Comics gave us a bunch of the Rogue variants. There was a fantastic Spider-Woman variant. I know there was an Iron Man variant. There are so many of these out there, Tom. How do you keep track of them?
You just got to get them all. And I think that's what the community is doing. We're seeing average sales of this book at $115 right now.
Wow.
And we have a high sale at $500. Now, this was signed by Benjamin Percy and graded at 9.8. And I want to give a big congratulations to Sean McNeil, who actually won our giveaway from our C2E2 coverage of this Wolverine #1 variant. But Comic Fam, this was karma and I made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
I spoke too soon.
Oh.
We are not giving this book away. I'm not going to give a raw copy away. We just can't do it. This book is too hot and it just didn't make sense to give away. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sean. We're not going to be doing that. Instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to send you a 9.8 signed copy. Because your boy got it graded for you.
Awesome.
And the CGC put it in the new fancy Wolverine
Oh my God.
logo.
What number is that?
Take a look.
Wow. $14.97 of 3,000. Only 3,000 of the special Wolverine Banana variant made. It is a 9.8. Again, congratulations. And God, this is hot.
Yeah, that's why you
Just
got to
look at how pretty that
comment
is.
on our videos because we do giveaways just like this. Like and subscribe.
Oh my God.
And that's not all. If you go on to Key Collector Comics, there's a brand new button of the John Tyler Christopher variants. There's a full list of them. And if you don't recognize these negative space variants, you're sure as hell going to recognize those Star Wars action figure variants he did.
Every single one of the Star Wars action figures variants from the Star Wars series that just ended, 1 through 75, he did all of them, and they are all awesome. So realistic, and it's great to see him doing some more fantastic work.
What do we got at number 9?
Number 9 in the list, we have Dark Reign Young Avengers #1. This is the first appearance of the second Enchantress.
Ooh, all right. So over on IMDb, we had an update, and courtesy of Key Collector Comics, there was a key alert sent out letting the community know about said update. This is what we learned. A young girl shown on IMDb to have joined the cast of Loki as young Sylvie, who is very likely Sylvie Lushton, the second Enchantress. Also had a set photo be released this past week of a younger looking character. Is this a female Loki? Could be. Or is this Enchantress? Well, we are definitely seeing Dark Reign Young Avengers #1, the first appearance of this second Enchantress, spike to $20 strong, and a 1,900% increase in copies sold in 7 days. Just another example of people specking on this Loki show. There's not a whole lot of stuff that we know just yet, but the spec market has chosen a couple characters to put their money in.
Number 8, we have Coyotes #1. Now, this is a book written by Sean Lewis, and it was flying under a lot of people's radars. I liked the covers of this book and gave issue #1 a chance. Kind of cool. You know, you have these group of people down by the border of Mexico, and women start disappearing and are supposedly killed by wild animals. So a group of strong women decide to take matters into their own hands and fight back.
Coyote #1 going for $15 average sales. We're seeing a high sale of $65 for this title after Sean Lewis, the creator, went to Twitter at the end of February announcing that this title was not only optioned, but actively in development. I'm glad Key Collector was keeping an eye on this particular title because it moved fast. I'm talking 42 issues being sold in 7 days.
Wow.
No one was buying this comic book prior to this.
Nope.
All right. And keep an eye out for that second print variant. It's a red cover, looks similar to the first, but cover A had a 13,000 print count. That's nothing. But that second print's probably staggeringly low. And number 7 on the list, we got Batman issue #38. Why don't you take over this one, brother?
This is not the Batman anyone was expecting us to talk about. And Tom King, who released a fantastic Adam Strange story in the new Strange Adventures this week, well, we're talking about Tom King Batman. This is pre the Bat and Cat fiasco wedding. This is the origin of Bruce Wayne. But it's not the origin of Bruce Wayne. It's the origin of Matthew Warner. Matthew Warner is a rich Gotham City kid who idolizes Bruce Wayne. So much so that he convinces his butler to not only call him Master Bruce, but to go and stab his parents in the throat and kill them. So he has dead parents. And then he goes and frames Victor Zsasz and Two-Face as the murderers. And the end of this wraps up with Matt carving Thomas and Martha into his cheeks. So we have this crazy DC villain whose alignment is very clearly bad, supposedly put into Arkham Asylum because of this craziness he did and the threat he is to Batman. Tom, why is this getting tied to Punchline?
I know. This is a spec that I'm just going to put a kibosh to. I do not believe in it whatsoever.
Not even
but we're
close.
seeing $5 average sales with a $42 high for a CGC 9.8. Over a 350% increase in copies sold because people are specking on Punchline connections. Is this character related? Somehow? Is it the same character? Is it a Finkel Einhorn situation?
Sure.
That may sound crazy, comic fan, because I kind of think it is. But if you go through our last YouTube video, there were straight up comments suggesting that as well. This is out there in the community. I think what this is more of a sign of people are reaching, looking for anything because Punchline landed so hard that people are refusing to give up. What if there's a retcon? What if there's some type of null Jason Aaron, Donny Cates type of situation where there is a connection? That dollar bin book may spike. This is an example of one, and I don't think you should put your money in it.
I really don't either. I mean, it's a good book. It's a good read. It's a character that it would be great to bring back at some point.
For those reasons.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, because it's an enjoyable character. It's an enjoyable read. But I really don't think anyone who is buying this because of the punchline tie-in, no, definitely not.
All right, let's take a look at number 6 because we may have a similar situation happening here. Avengers, issue number 85, the first appearance of Squadron Supreme. What do we got going on?
I know, this is crazy. So there's so much stuff happening on Disney Plus right now in this new Marvel universe that they're creating. There's supposed to be swords showing up. We're talking about the Time Variance Authority. We're talking about young Avengers are supposed to be there.
Thunderbolts.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's too many teams, and really, Squadron Supreme is not one of those that I would have thought.
Yeah, there's some spec happening. Some sites have picked it up, but I can't find really any substantiated claims, any like set photos, nothing like that. But this issue, Avengers 85, going for $75 average sales. There was a 9.4 CGC sale of $255. Maybe there's a first appearance of one of these characters that may show up. We may see one character. That seems to be a bit more likely than a full team. But heck, I don't want to see too many things go on in Disney Plus more than there already is. I think it may just confuse people. And yeah, this may not be a spec that I'm betting on. At number 5, we have Masked Crusaders working overtime.
Fighting crime! The Mobile Armored Strike Command, one of my favorite animated series in the 1980s. I had all of the action figures. Imagine the Transformers, only worse, and G.I. Joe with less cool weapons and no superpowers. That was Mask. There was a dude who had like an inflatable boat and they would go on the water, and there was a guy that kind of had a truck that drove places, and I think they had a plane. It's gonna hit all of the right buttons. I'm super excited to watch this, and it's gonna suck.
Movie in development. The same writer who did Bad Boys is taking this on.
Probably gonna see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in this one, contract obligations.
Absolutely. $15 average sales with $175 highs at 9.8s. We've been seeing a lot of these types of franchises that were toys / bring them onto screen to sell action figures type of stuff.
Totally. Well, the Toys That Made Us on Netflix has done a fantastic job of kind of resurging some of these things and giving a lot of guys, again, who are my age, late 30s to mid 40s type thing, remembering all of this stuff. I was so happy to see the key alert on my phone because I'm like, Mask? This is so cool. And I looked at the prices and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, like really, I'm totally geeking out over something that is probably not geek outable,
This one may be a little bit better for you, Russ. At the list at number 4, we have Star Wars Tales issue number 24. This book right here is going for $20 average sales. We have a high sale at 9.8 at $175. Now, can you please explain to the community why a 1,200 increase in percentage of copies sold in 7 days? What happened?
This is the first appearance of Darth Nihilus. Super cool character. He can suck the life force out of you just by being next to you. He is negative. He is nothing. Darth Nihilus. So, we have gotten a little bit of information in the last 2 weeks about Project Luminous, which is a cross-platform Star Wars experience. And there's going to be movies and TVs, and there's supposedly a comic book, and there's a video game component. We don't quite know everything, but there are a ton of people who are all working at Skywalker Ranch to try and make this a reality. There is a story that takes place 300 or 400 years before the Skywalker saga, so there are going to be many more Jedi and many more Sith, so lots and lots of great things. We know that there is a group of baddies who are called the Nile.
Our main villain are the group called the Nile. We kind of like to refer to them as space Vikings.
Their motto is, you can't take it with you, but we can take it from you.
So people are thinking that the Nile, this group, are going to be tied in with Darth Nihilus because their names are similar. Okay, Nile is Latin for zero. There's lots of things we could tie Nile. KMFDM had a fantastic record called Nile. There are nihilists in The Big Lebowski. I mean, really, there are lots of things it could be, but Darth Nihilus is a great character. You should pick up this book anyway. It's a good read. And also, first appearance of Visas Mar in a short story, who is one of Darth Nihilus's apprentices who has her eyes burnt out. And she just likes killing people because, the whole world needs to be punished. It's pretty awesome.
At the list at number 3, we have Batman issue number 171. Silver Age goodness making the list. The first appearance of the Riddler in the Silver Age. with Batman and Robin right on the cover, gorgeous pink cover.
Love this so much. And they're just punching him and he's spinning like a top. And how is he avoiding all of our... Oh, it's so good.
Well, the main reason why we're seeing this book spike right now, average sales. So this is a pricey Silver Age book.
Right.
$250. All right. We have a high sale at 8.0, $1,350. 200% increase in copies sold. You know, Matt Reeves is going to be putting this villain in the film. Now, do we know if he's going to be one of many villains? Is he going to be the lead villain? Well, people are putting some money behind Riddler, and I think for good reason, because as days go on and we find out more and more about this movie, people are getting excited, and I am so stoked after seeing that Batmobile.
Oh, yeah, this Batmobile looks great. And this is not like cartoony style Batmobile. This straight up looks like some dude had a lot of money, wanted to supercharge the heck out of his car, and he's going to do the best job he can to race around Gotham City.
All right, so we had another book on spec radar this year pretty aggressively as we got closer to hearing about who was going to play Batman and some of the roles. You remember that book?
Yeah, we were talking a lot about Tim Sale's Long Halloween.
That's right. And if you comment down below today, Comic Fam, I have a copy right here, courtesy of Comic Karma. It is a thing. We have an issue of Batman Long Halloween, issue number 1. Super hot, and you can win it if you like. Subscribe, and let us know what you think about this list. What did you pick up on Wednesday? Are you excited about this Batman movie? What do you think about the Batmobile? We want to hear from you. Make sure to slap the like button. We need your support. And let's actually take a look at number 2 on this list because we have a video game hitting this list at number 2. Dark Horse. I've played it. I like it. HBO's picking it up. What do we got?
Last of Us number 1.
That's right. And you know what? Only 6,000 copies of issue 1 made it out to retailers because this came out months before the PlayStation release.
Now, I remember that that's what happened because this was, I think, 2013, and issue number 1 and 2 were both out before the game came out. So when the game was out, issue number 3 was released. I had a ton of people come in looking for 1 and 2. They were sold out. Couldn't find them. I think I only ordered 2 copies of it.
I love this game.
Oh, yeah.
And the main reason why it was so fun, aside from how, you know, the playability and just like the stealth aspect of it, the cinematography, just the storyline. It's engaging. You want to keep playing it.
Right.
It plays out like a movie, almost like Final Fantasy-like, but more horror-driven. Picked up for HBO. This is what we need, man. This is what we need. And the community's after this book. $35 average sales, $225 highs at 9.8. All right, let's take a look at number 1. But before we get there, I want to remind the community, if you use code Tom101, you get a free week subscription of the best comic book app that exists on the market, and that's Key Collector Comics. It's going to unlock all the categories. You're going to get all the features, and at the end of this list, you know, we're going to go through the top 10. There's an additional 10 that you got to know about. So make sure to go hit Key Collector and check out the top 20. There's 10 more books that you got to be specking on.
Number 1 on the list. No surprise, after last week and the week before, another Batman book. Batman number 90, first appearance of the designer. Now, before we get too far into this, why the heck did they never use the name the designer or punchline before? They've been doing Batman for almost 80 years now. Those seem like logical characters. The designer's something they could have used years ago.
Dude, we got the Calendar Man.
Oh my God, I know Calendar Man and Condiment Man. We have these crazy characters. No, we couldn't use the designer until now. And we put a bag on his face.
Well, you know what? The designer has a pretty cool character design. He's got this sword in this issue. We see his weapon. All right. And we have $15 average sales. And then there's also that Francesco Mattina variant, that B cover that's also selling well. Riddler looking so dope.
Tinian is doing a fantastic job taking up where Tom King left off, and a lot of people who had given up hope on this Batman run are having a renewed love of Batman. It's a good thing.
I'm going to put a link in the description to a homie in the community. His name is Bueller. You're going to know him. He's been on the show a few times, but he has a channel, Comics with Bueller, where every single week he debuts every comic book cover that he can find, and he puts it on YouTube for the comic book community to consume. It's these types of moments where I'm going through looking at every single cover. Right now, Batman has so many bangers happen and so many keys.
Oh, yeah.
This is a time where you really got to know what's coming out, and you got to use your eyes, comic fam. You got to spot the covers. You got to go with your gut. What looks hot? What looks like it's going to be worth adding to your shelf? And Bueller's helping you. Link in the description. He's a good friend of mine, and we really support his channel. Oh, and we do have another giveaway from last week's top 10 going out to Holy Man 40. We got a copy of Hell Risen issue number 3 going out to you. Thanks for commenting. Thank you for your support. Slap the like button, Comic Fam, and make sure you're subscribed. We make a ton of comic book themed content. And as always,
Geek responsibly.
enough said. Comic Fam, thanks so much for your support. Thank you for joining us today. And we have 2 other videos for you to check out. We have a podcast where Jeff, Nick, and I, we talk about Punchline. We talk about comic book investment options like in stocks. We also talk about Rob Liefeld. That's always a good time. And if you click down here, this is our special C2E2 video where we talk to dealers about some of their favorite comic books at the show. You don't want to miss it. There's $1 million comic book in that video.